My name is Adrian and I live in Edgware, northwest London, and this is where I was born as well. I remember being young and my mum telling me about, the reality of heaven and hell and about God, and that struck a chord within me at such a young age. And since then, I was always searching for answers. I had this fear of God in me. I just wanted to do whatever I could to be good enough to get into heaven. I was born and raised in London, but I never really heard the gospel presentation, I would say, not until I moved to Ghana, which is when things started to take form. Everywhere I went, you just hear about God in Ghana. So when I was going to school, the teachers would, they would be open about God, about prayer. I would hear people speaking about God at school, things that I didn't hear about, which struck a chord within me. When I moved back to the UK, there wasn't really a form of Christianity there. Although deep down I was still seeking God. I still tried to read the Bible, I still tried to read through the Old Testament. But then I just continued being who I was. There wasn't really any change in my life. But then I knew deep down I was still seeking for answers. There was a night that I went to university with my best friend at the time, and then he was going to launch one of his music albums at the Students' Union. But then on my way there, I received a call from a couple of Christians that I was close with. And then they said, Adrian, when you finish tonight, we want to talk to you. After the event at the Students' Union finished, I rushed to meet them at the social space. And then they gave me a full presentation of the gospel of Jesus. But one thing that stood out with me, one thing that stood out was that they asked me, Adrian, if you were to die tonight, would you go to heaven and hell? And then I said, surely I'll go to heaven, I'm a good person. But then really I had a second thought about it, and I said, no, I'm not really good. I'm really not good enough. And then I just decided to give my life to Jesus. I just surrendered. I discovered God TV on my cable, and I just started to watch it, and I just started to grow. As a hungry young Christian, I just wanted to know more and more about God. And I know one of the first programs I started to watch was Joyce Meyer's Enjoying Everyday Life, and that really impacted me because she taught the basic Christianity principles that I never really knew about, which helped me to grow. When I was watching God TV with my mum, she began to grow in her faith. And then I remember there was one particular moment when we went out, and then she just started speaking to me. She said, Adrian, I think I want to give my life to Christ. I think I want to live for Jesus. And in that moment, that really struck a chord within me because I knew I wasn't going to be the only born-again believer in my household, that my mum was also going to be part of God's family. And I was so happy because I wanted her to experience the feelings and the joys that I was experiencing. I wanted her to experience God's freedom and God's power in her life too. And after that moment, we continued to watch God TV, learn from it, and then she would apply it in her own life. God TV is like a lifeline to me. With all the TV out there in the world, it's so refreshing to be able to switch on God TV when I get home, to be able to watch all the different programming, different types of programs, because I'm interested in learning about the end times and learning about different parts of my faith and hearing about what's going on in different parts of the world. And God TV is just able to deliver all of this program to me in one particular place. It's like being able to have God in the living room with me, and it's a great way for me to be able to introduce God to other people that come round to my house. When you start to watch the God TV programming and you see how people's lives have been transformed and how your life's been transformed, you'd naturally be led to want to give back to God TV what God TV's done for you, because it's the only way.